We will now take up 10 more questions from the botany part of the paper, and let's start with the question. Here they are asking diadelphous stamens are found in. So they have given the options as, is it seen in pea, is it seen in China rose and citrus, is it seen in China rose, or it is seen in citrus only. So first we will have to understand what is a diadelphous condition. Now the stamens in the flower, they can either remain free, that is not attached to some other part or themselves itself, that is known as the polyandrous condition when they are free, or they can remain united in various degrees. Now if the stamens are united, all of them are united just to form one complete bundle, and that is known as a monodelphous condition, which is seen in China rose. So we have seen from this definition, monodelphous condition is seen in China rose. So China rose over here and China rose over here should not form our option. Then the second condition is known as diadelphous condition, where the stamens are arranged as two bundles. And this is seen in the case of pea plants. So we have been asked that a diadelphous condition is seen in whom? It is seen in pea. So our option should be P over here. Now the third condition is if the stamens are attached in more than two bundles. That means if there are many bundles, then we say that condition as polyadelphous, and this is seen in citrus. So citrus shows a polydelphous condition. Obviously this is not the option over here. So the answer to this question will be P, which shows diadelphous condition, that is two bundles of stamen that are arranged in a flower. Answer will be P. Next question over here given was, we have to find out the statement that is not correct. That means we have to find out an incorrect statement, a false statement we have to find out. Now this is a question on the pyramids. So the pyramid of energy is always upright. Yes, we know that the energy pyramid, it keeps on decreasing from every trophic level. The energy keeps on decreasing at every trophic level. So obviously the pyramid of energy will be always upright, that is in this formation. And these are the various trophic levels. So the highest energy will be here at the base trophic level, and the lowest energy will be here at the topmost trophic level. Then this is a correct statement. The pyramid of numbers in a grassland ecosystem is again upright. So in a grassland ecosystem, we will see that the number of producers is more. Then the number of the second trophic level, that is the herbivores, is comparatively less. Then similarly, the number of the carnivores is comparatively less, and the top carnivores will become more or less. So obviously the number of pyramids in grassland is also upright. This is again a true statement. Then let's read the third statement. The pyramid of biomass in sea is generally inverted. So this is also a correct statement. We can see over here, this is an example of the pyramid of biomass in an aquatic ecosystem. We can see over here, their pyramid is inverted. Inverted as in the biomass of the producers is comparatively very less as compared to the biomass of the herbivores which eat the producers, and subsequently the biomass of the carnivores, that is the large fishes, is much more as compared to the herbivores. So this forms a inverted type of a pyramid, and we can say that the third statement is correct over here. Now let's read the fourth statement, which says the pyramid of biomass in sea is generally upright. So obviously this is a false statement, because this is what we have just discussed, that the pyramid of the biomass in the sea is generally inverted. It is not upright. So we had to find out a false statement, and the answer over here will be the D option. Now let's take up another question. This is, which of the following are not secondary metabolites in plants? Now what are secondary metabolites? Secondary metabolites are those substances which are present in the plant, but they are not directly involved in the growth as well as the development of the plant. Those substances which are directly involved in the growth, like proteins, like carbohydrates, like nucleic acids, like lipids, those form the primary metabolites. Whereas the other substances which are present in the plants but do not have any influence on the growth or development, those form the secondary metabolites. So here they have asked which are not secondary metabolites, that means which is a primary metabolite, indirectly they are asking. So vinblastin and curcumin, this is obviously a secondary metabolite. This is a table which is given in NCERT that gives the examples of various types of secondary metabolites as well as their examples. We can see over here vinblastin and curcumin are a type of drugs which are produced by the plants. So obviously they are secondary metabolites. Then rubber and gums again are secondary metabolites. Morphine and codeine again we can see are secondary metabolites. However, the amino acids and glucose, they are a type of primary metabolites. So the answer to this question will be D. That is, they are not secondary metabolites. Now, let's come to a next question. This question states that Gamey are present in. So we all know Gamey are present in, they are asking whether they are present in some gymnosperms, whether they are present in some liverworts, whether they are seen in some mosses or they are seen in pteridophytes. We all know that some liverworts, they undergo asexual reproduction by either fragmentation of their thallus or by the formation of specialized structures, certain cup-like structures which are known as gamete. So the answer over here directly goes to liverworts. The answer will be B over here. Now the next question. It says that when the centromere is situated in the middle of the two equal arms of chromosomes, the chromosome is referred to as. In this particular case, they are asking the various type of chromosomes depending upon the centromere position. So with this definition, when they say that the centromere is located in the middle, resulting in two equal arms, the option is submetacentric, acrocentric, metacentric or telocentric. So we can have a look at this particular figure. Here you can see that telocentric chromosome is that in which the centromere is present at the tip of both the chromatids. So obviously this is not in the middle. Telocentric will not be the option. Then acrocentric is present just slightly below the tip of the chromatids. It is slightly below that. So this is also not the option. Then metacentric is that type of a chromosome which is having the centromere that is present in the center, resulting in equal P as well as equal Q arms. P is generally referred to as the short arm. So here P will be, this arm which is short will be the P arm and this arm which is the longer one will be the Q arm. Whereas in the case of metacentric, the P and the Q are equal in length. Submetacentric is that type of a chromosome in which the centromere is placed slightly above the middle position. So here again the arms will be unequal, with P being comparatively shorter and Q being comparatively longer. So in the question they have asked that where is the centromere located? In the middle, and the option which is having the middle is metacentric. So the answer to this question will be metacentric chromosome. Now let's see another question. In this question they are asking the factor that leads to founder effect in a population is. So this is a question that has been picked up from evolution chapter. Now what is founder effect? Founder effect is that type of a pattern in which some members of a particular population, they move out of the population and they settle in some new place. There they are going to reproduce among themselves and then they are going to increase their population. So this movement of a group of some people from a population is known as founder's effect. And founder's effect falls under the criteria of genetic drift, which refers to a sudden change which is seen in generally small populations. So one example of genetic drift is founder's effect. So the answer of this question will be B. Now let's talk about another question over here. Here they are talking about genera like Slaginella as well as Salvinia. They produce two kinds of spores. Such plants are known as Homosporus, they are known as Heterosporus, they are known as Homosaurus, or they are known as Heterosaurus. So now we know the plants that produce two type of spores like Slaginella as well as Salvinia are known as the Heterosporus. Here they are having two type of spores. One is a large spore known as the macrospore, and the other is a small spore which is known as a microspore. The large spore, that is the megaspore, it gives rise to the female gametophyte, whereas the small spore, that is microspore, gives rise to the male gametophyte. So as asked in the question, Slaginella and Salvinia, which produce two kind of spores, are known as Heterosporus in nature. So the answer over here will be the B option. Now let's talk about another question. So over here they have given an equation. So this is a question from ecology. Here they have given an equation where GPP minus R is equal to NPP. And here they have asked that this R represents what? Is it the environment factor? Is it the respiration losses? Is it the radiant energy, or is it the retardation factor? Now we know what is this equation signifying. We know that gross primary productivity, that is also known as GPP, of any particular ecosystem refers to the rate of the production of organic matter during photosynthesis. So how much organic matter is produced during photosynthesis, that is referred as the gross primary productivity of a particular system, ecosystem. Now, a considerable amount of GPP is utilized by the plants in respiration. So whatever is the organic product that the plant has formed, some of it is also taken as for the process of respiration. And this sum that is taken away, this thing that is taken away is known as the respiratory losses. That is the losses which are happening due to respiration. And when we minus the respiratory losses from the GPP, we get the NPP, that refers to the net primary productivity. So in this particular question, they have asked, what does R mean? R simply means the respiratory losses. So answer to this question will be B, very clearly. Now let's talk about another question. Here they are asking which of the following plant is monoecious plant. Now what is a monoecious plant? Monoecious plant is generally that type of a plant where one that has the male and the female flowers on the same plant itself. So the same plant is having the male flowers also, it is having the female flowers also, and that plant altogether is known as a monoecious plant. Or the condition that has the flowers on every plant that contains both the male as well as the female reproductive components. So the flower on the plant which is having both male as well as female parts, that is also considered under a monoecious plant only. Now they are asking the example of a monoecious plant over here. Marchantia, we know, is not a monoecious plant. Cycas again is not a monoecious plant. Then Carica is again not a monoecious plant. Cara, we know by the examples, is a monoecious plant. That means it is that plant which is having both the male as well as the female flowers. So the answer to this question will be Cara. So this is directly a straight question, more of a theoretical question this is. Now let's come to another question. Here they are asking the amount of nutrients such as carbon or nitrogen, phosphorus and calcium that is present in the soil at any given time. What is that referred to? So the amount of any type of a nutrient which is present in the soil at a particular time. What is that known as? Is it known as the standing state? Is it known as the standing crop? Is it known as the climax, or is it known as the climax community? So this is a very straight type of a question, that the answer to this question is the standing state of a particular soil which is having the amount of nutrients in it. So the answer to this question will be standing state. So this is a very simple type of again a theoretical question. Now these were the 10 questions that we had to discuss in this video. In the next video, we will again take up another 10 more questions that have been asked from the botany section of the paper.